It's nearing crunch time as we're moving toward the midpoint of the second round of the UAAP Women's Basketball Tournament. Now, a few contenders are already standing out, and basketball analyst Danica Jose, three-time Mythical Team awardee,
okay, wala na.
Oh, meron pa. Looks at some Final Four candidates to see what they need to work on as they reach the end of the eliminations. Danica, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pao.
All right, so let's focus here on UAAP women's basketball first.
You're comfortable in the booth, you're okay?
yeah, you're okay,
Very comfortable. Yep.
You're good, you're good.
Let's talk
okay.
about that first.
All right. It's nice to see you relaxed and not stiff.
Of course.
Let's focus on this UP team first because they look human a bit more here in the second round compared to what we saw in that first round. At one point, they were 6-0, and then now at 7-2. What do you make of them, especially going into this run of the second round?
Well, we know that the UP team really made a huge impression in the first round, but we also know that these teams will also make their adjustments now that they saw what the UP team is capable of. They have a lot of key players. They're not just focused on one player. It revolves basically for the whole system of the entire team. So after the two losses, I'm sure Coach Paul Ramos, the head coach of the UP team, well, it's something that you can expect, of course. And facing Ateneo on Sunday is something that obviously this team has to prepare for because Ateneo is at the number 4 spot.
Yeah.
So talagang it could be anyone's ball game, really, especially in the second round. Long way to go.
Right.
UP showed how great of a team they are compared to last season because of the recruits that they have. But of course, really looking forward to how this team will turn out here in the second round.
Grabe labanan na, top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
And really, anything can happen here in the second round. But sige, hihimay-himay naman natin yan. But I want to stick on the UP side. So what worked in the 6-0 run? And what happened in those bookend losses,
Yeah.
diba? Yung end of the first round and start of the second. What happened?
Well, what UP showed in the first round was that they're not focused on one player. Anyone can score, anyone can shoot, and they also have a dominant player inside. Their foreign student athlete really is imposing her will in the paint. That's favor Ono for you. Double figures. A huge impact on the team as a rookie. So I think those are the players. It was really a collective effort, and I think they really gained their confidence in the first round after beating NU, after beating
mabigat
USL.
yun.
Matagal yun. And the last time they were able to beat NU, fun fact, was back in 2011.
You were playing?
On my rookie year.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
matagal na talaga. So for them to actually have that achievement as early in the first round, it really
Speaks volumes.
Yep,
Yeah.
it speaks volumes for the team.
I like the little age reveal there. But well, we have to take a look at this NU team also because NU, it felt like a weird season. That loss against UP felt like a big turning point. It's like waking up a sleeping giant. How do NU look right now prior to that loss and after that loss, and what are we seeing from them now?
Well, NU now is number 1 on offense and defense. They average almost 70 points per game, and they're also number 1 in forcing teams to commit turnovers in double figures. So I think this NU team, like what you said, it was a wake-up call for them. But I remember talking to Coach Aris, he mentioned that it's not really their goal to sweep this season. I think based from last year, after the loss against LaSalle, they really just, made sure that their focus was on the championship, getting that 8th straight championship. And I think that's something that they want to continue here this season.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that because, excuse me, that loss last year. Because some people forget about that.
Yeah.
That they didn't really it's not like tuloy-tuloy yan from last
Yes.
season and then ngayon lang natalo against UP. Which some people may think, humihina ba ang NU? Or lumalakas ba yung ibang team? I would like to believe, and Danica, maybe, I don't know, your take on it, that the other teams are really catching up, including UP and the other teams that we're going to talk about. But what is still the strength of this national U team still being at number 1 and protecting that number 1 spot?
I think more than the fact that they have that championship experience for the longest time, it's also their defense that has been their trademark and DNA for all of those players. I think it's been carried among all of the players from Coach Pat Aquino's time down to Coach Aris right now. So it's really something that they're known for. It's in their identity. They've been showing it the past couple of games here in the second round. And, talagang you shouldn't take them for granted. You still shouldn't take NU lightly just because natalo na sila ng UP once. Because they're still the defending champs.
Baka yun nga
Yeah.
yung baka gising sa kanila.
That's
di ba?
right.
Yeah, I was going to say that with an 8-1 record, I don't think anyone will ever take them lightly. But you take a look at some of their individual performers here, Camille Clarin, Carl Pingol, and Kaya Biab as well. All of them have been performing to it feels like a different level after that loss against UP. It felt like Camille, in particular, took it personally after that loss to UP because she just torched LaSalle the game after. I remember seeing that. Just how have these girls taken charge of this NU team?
Well, like what you mentioned, those 4 players also played for the national team. The experience that they got on an international level really helped boost the team's confidence that these are the players who will lead a very young team. Because let's not forget that this NU team also has 7 rookies this season.
Yeah.
So talagang you'll expect those 4 players na they'll carry this team by example.
Before we move on to the next team, can I just ask your opinion about what have you seen now about Coach Aris? Now that he's had a full season and now he's going on to that second, that separates him from the play of Coach Pat. Kasi syempre, di ba, parang I'm sure he wants to create a reputation for himself.
Yeah.
That's right. Actually, I asked the same question to
Oh.
Coach Aris
Oh, there you go.
during the first round, night before he played against UP. And I really had to ask him that, is it still your objective to sweep the season, or is there a mindset that you wanted to instill to your players this time around? And then he was like, I just wanted the players to have that will and fire to continuously grow and improve as a player. And then whatever happens, as long as that's your focus, then we'll see what the results or what the outcome will be. So that has been his mindset for the team now. So I'm sure it's something that he really wants to make a reputation, a name for himself. But at the end of the day, if you have the championship tucked under your belt this season, then no more questions asked.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll
Good point.
we'll see how they finish the season, of course. We have to also talk about the UST team because UST also tied up at 7-2 alongside UP. You take a look at, I remember preseason, even the preseason press conference, they were all saying that UST is one of the teams to beat here, apart from NU. You take a look at UST, do you feel that they've lived up to that reputation? Do you feel that so far they are still finding their stride? Because a loss or two early on, but now they look good.
That's right. UST actually is a very dangerous team. They have a very deep bench, well coached. Coach Heidi Ong has been in the program for the longest time. And I think UST is definitely a team to watch out for in the second round. That's led by Kent Pastrana, Eka Soriano, Taki Takatak. They have a lot of players na talagang they're very dangerous, especially pag uminit sila like Taki and Eka Soriano. So those are the players who will definitely carry the UST team this second round.
There's a certain confidence about them this year that we see, in the way they play. Feeling nga may pagka-sleeping giant sila, and obviously that comes from Heidi and the way she coaches and all that. You mentioned Eka, and can you give us your thoughts on the difference now of what you're seeing this year from her?
Honestly, for Eka Soriano, she was quite silent and inconsistent in the first round. We've been seeing a lot of Kent Pastrana highlights, Taki Takatak, waxing hot from beyond the arc. So I was quite surprised because Eka Soriano last season is the MVP.
Yeah.
So she was #1 overall stats, and then this season, for whatever reason, she was kind of silent, just doing her role, facilitating, organizing the team as a point guard. So we don't know what happened, but here in the second round, she suddenly exploded. With their game against FEU, she shot 8 3-pointers to secure their win against FEU. That was a very dominant win that was led by Eka Soriano. So I think in terms of her leadership, maybe Coach Heidi had to pull her and give her that constant reminder that you're one of the leaders, and the team really depends on you. Parang they can't just do it on their own. They really need Eka Soriano in terms of her scoring production.
So the problem with her was the inconsistency so far this season. Now the question for me now is that if she finds that consistency, given her performance against FEU this second round, will that be enough to push them into the realm of, okay, title contender for sure, to someone that we feel could contend for the title against the likes of NU?
For sure. The UST is a very dangerous team, apart from the fact that they have that championship experience
Yeah.
already. They went up against NU a few years back in the finals already.
Yeah.
They're the only team who actually goes up against NU na dikit yung laban, na it's not more than 10 points,
Yeah.
not more than 15 points.
sila
It's
tinatambakan,
yeah,
you're
that's
right.
right.
Yeah, it's
It's
close.
always a close game between NU and UST. So in terms of Eka Soriano's impact, it will really make a big influence on the team, especially na magsabay-sabay na perfect game sila ni Ken Pastrana and nila Taki Takatak, since she's the main point guard, the go-to guy.
Yeah.
Okay.